Welcome to the 217 Recovery Podcast.
If you don't make mistakes, you won't learn.
With your host, Cori Winfield.
You know, there was a reason why that didn't work out. And you can look back at it and go, yep, I'm glad that didn't work out how I wanted it, because that would have been horrible.
Got your ass.
It is the 14th of August, 2025. My name's Cori Winfield, and joined by a very special guest today.
My name is Cori Smoker.
Cori Smoker. How you doing, Cori?
I'm doing pretty good.
Good. We did a podcast earlier, and we were trying something new. We were trying the video podcast that all the kids are doing. Technical issues with the microphone.
Yeah, but you know what? We set it up, and we sure did give it a shot.
Yeah, we did, and that's how you learn.
And that
is by doing things, and usually by failing, and then you realize, okay, well, next time we'll say don't move, or use different microphone, or I don't know, something. We had the little wireless Go microphones, and it picked up some movement. So
we just realized that I'm going to keep using this big, awkward one, but, you know, it works for me.
Yeah, that's a real microphone. You're using the same microphone Joe Rogan uses. Oh, my God, that's so awesome.
Yeah. You know, I probably should investigate, because I don't even think I know who Joe Rogan is.
Wow. He's a very funny guy. He's a very funny comedian.
Does he do a lot of podcasts?
I think so.
I feel like maybe I did hear some of his stuff.
I've never listened to a Joe Rogan podcast. I'm sure it's good. I like Joe Rogan. There's nothing against him.
So you like him. You've never listened to one, and I don't really particularly know who he is, but I think I want to say I did hear one, but I don't.
I like his stand-up.
Well, now I got something I get to look up. My free time.
Yeah, all right. Well, Corey's busy for a few days, or at least 10 minutes, and you were like, oh, yeah, I know that guy. Yeah.
Well, you never know. And I might, and that could be 100% true, as I might already know him. I might have already seen him. I'm not really good at the names and the faces and all that when it comes to people.
No, and he actually brought a little bit of legitimacy to podcasting, because I remember when we first started back in 2019, and I did the podcast to keep myself sober. And people were like, oh, you do a podcast? And then when I wanted to start helping people, and I noticed like transportation was an issue, and I went to NMRE and was like, hey, this is an issue. How come no one's doing it? And they're just like, yeah, I don't know. But first they were like, we're not going to give you money for your podcast. I'm like, well, I'm not even asking. I'm not even talking about my podcast. I'm talking about transportation. They're like, oh. But I don't know. It was one of those things where now, if you start talking about, like, I've heard someone say like Joe Rogan's podcast got Trump elected. So now, you know, fast forward like 6 years or whatever, and it's like, oh, no, podcasting is important. And if you're talking about something that people are interested in or want to listen to, then, yeah, it is important.
Well, and I feel like the podcasting has kind of, even 5 years, it's gained a lot of traction. I know when I come in here in the morning, it seems you're always listening to some kind of podcast of someone. And then it's like I hear... in different recovery realms of saying, oh, well, listen to this person on a podcast, or listen to this one. So I do feel like it's really taken traction in the last couple of years.
Yeah, people do listen to them. And, there's like little clips that people can watch, and that's way different. I'm a radio guy. So for me, like, this feels natural for me. And if someone wants to record it, I'm fine with it. But it does add a whole bunch more work, as I'm trying to find out right now, because there's some clips that I think we can use from what we did, but I have to find them, and then like now I got to edit the video and sync it, and so it's another hour, I would say, at least of work, which I'm fine doing. It's just, my wife just called and said, "Where's my husband?" It's like, so it's hard to find those hours sometimes. It's
yeah, but I mean, you have that information for on that day that you do want to find that clip, like we've been kind of. Talking about now that we're looking at different directions, that even if there is no voice behind it, it can go on the website. And here is just a short clip of us sitting in our recovery center. We were out in the lobby, just sitting there looking at each other, talking or looking around. And now you have them clips if you need to use them for something. So
yeah, absolutely. And sometimes you just have to do it. And I would give this advice to someone who wants to start a podcast, and It could be something that keeps you sober. Absolutely. It kept me sober. And this is what we talked about on the podcast that you didn't hear, that you're hearing now, is I use the podcast as a way to keep myself sober. Some people use AA. Some people use cooking. Some people, the one guy you guys met uses the birds. He's a falconer or something like that. And I would definitely want to meet him.
He has like a wild, it's a rescue. So when someone calls and there's a hurt bird, or he goes and gets them and rescues them. And to his best ability is he tries to get them back to their habitat. And
it's like sober living for birds.
Yeah, it's really cool. Like he was going, when we seen him yesterday, he left there early to jet out. He was going to Mackinac City to pick up an eagle.
Nice. That's a pretty cool job. And I guess he had mentioned like, hey, I need to come hang out and do some more events or like be around us because, you know, I'm not going to call him out or nothing, but he's in recovery, supposedly. I don't really know. I'm not talking for him, but maybe he is. Maybe he's not. But I think that kind of person is good to have around people because, you know, there's some sober living homes here in Traverse City. And I think, you know, like when we go golfing next month or whenever we do that, you know, to have somebody like him around too, just to be around. Mm-hmm. You know, so these newcomers can come in and they can see these people and they're like, wait, you save birds? That could keep somebody sober. And you never know what it's going to be.
Yeah. And it's just about making that connection, right? Of what, you know, he turned to birds and in his recovery and he said, you know, that helped him grow. Mm-hmm. And now he's using that and trying to, he does like different classes and he does different things of bringing people out and showing them the awareness of the birds and in their habitat. And he was saying something to me and Marnie about, you know, maybe that's something one day he could do with some of us here in recovery is we could go out to where he is, where the birds, and we could see, you know, what he does, or he does practice flying with them. And it's so cool.
That would be cool. As long as we can film it.
Oh, I'm sure he would love that.
But that's the thing. And you talk to someone in AA, NA, whatever, Smart Recovery, Dharma. If you talk to anybody who uses their, what do you want to say, their pathway or pathway, whatever they choose, they're going to tell you that that is the best one and you should do it. And I do it too with purpose. I tell people that you need goals, you need to have purpose in life because that's what I feel moved me past the hump to get me over the drinking. So I'm going to, you know, say that people that go to AA are going to say, no, you need to go to AA. That really worked. And I think it's because it's such a life-changing, to have life back. I don't even life-changing, like that, to live life again and to be free is just such an amazing feeling. We want everybody to have that. Like I want everybody who's struggling to have this. Well,
and I think it's because, we're advocating. We see the other people they're hurting. We thought
it was never going to happen to us one time too.
Yep.
And we know what these people are thinking. And that's why it's like, no, it can happen. It will happen. Just don't give up. And unfortunately, some people it takes, and I don't know why we're here. It's not up to us to sit here and go, God, why did you save me? We just know that he did. And now there's a passion in us, like a fire that you can't put out to help other people.
Mm-hmm. And that's sometimes I want to just shake them to get it.
So if you're a parent and you're like, oh, I'm shaking my son right now. Yep, we get it. And I know. And our parents wanted to shake us, and then maybe they did. I don't know, you know, but to be here on this side of it, though, seriously, it's amazing. And I want everybody to feel this. And Cori was the same way. She thought it was never going to happen to her. It only happens to other people until that thing happened to us that made us get in gear a little bit. And for me, it was fear of being that person that killed somebody in a drunk driving accident, or being that. I don't want to be that. Nobody wants to be that person, you know. And for me to have blacked out, drink responsibly, don't drink and drive. Well, I don't remember. And I thought it was a setup. I thought the cops had set me up, that my mom, I thought everybody was in on it. They even went so far to scrape the side of my car to make it look like I hit something. Those effing cops. And after I woke up and missed 4 days or whatever, and I was like, oh my God, and that's when I knew. It wasn't maybe I drove. I was like, I drove. And holy hell, what was I doing? And then that's when the fear really started. Like, where was I going? Because I remember when I got out of jail, I got home, there was a half gallon sitting on the counter, so I wasn't going to get alcohol. But I think I hit the the dumpster at the liquor store. I don't know, because there was that green. That's the only thing I think of was the dumpster. I just don't even know, and that's scary.
But that's the only place we can think that the green dumpster is. Yeah. We don't know where we're going.
I don't know. And I just know the guy followed me home, and I guess I'm using air quotes here, came to with him beating on my window going, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "What are you doing?" And he was like, "You almost killed somebody." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" I'm sitting in my car, and it's snowing outside. I'm in pajama pants and a T-shirt. I mean, like, I didn't have my phone. I didn't have my vape. I don't know what I was doing. That's effing scary. And I'm sorry, but your TV commercials that tell me to drink responsibly, that went out the window a long effing time ago. And the whole don't drive drunk, yeah, I try not to. But when I black out and don't remember what I'm doing, that's a huge problem. Huge. You pretty much same thing almost, it's like.
Oh, exactly.
I waited for the cops. The guys, I'm calling the cops. I'm good. I'll wait for them. I could have went inside. It was very similar.
I didn't intentionally set out and be like, well, I'm going to get drunk and I'm going to drive home tonight. That wasn't ever my plan. Right.
Do we have to tell these people who make alcohol and the alcohol warnings how alcohol works? Do we have to tell the federal government? No, they know, and they love it because it brings them money. See, if you think the government cares about you, I'm sorry. Like, if you get all heated about the Trump stuff and this, I'm sorry. I have to break this to you. The government does not give a shit about you. Doesn't care. Nope. You die and they go away and they're fine. That's how the government works. Same thing with the state of Michigan. They don't care. They'll tell you that they care about you and that they want to see change. And then you bring them ideas and you give them proof of how you've affected change. And they go, nah. I'm like, but we're saving lives. We saved 1,000 lives probably. Nah, don't care. They're just going to keep giving money to their friends. And I don't care if they don't give it to us because there's other means and we'll figure it out. Yep. I'm not going to sit here and kiss their ass. There's other organizations that do that already. I don't need to. I'm trying to help people. That's all I want. I want to help people and I want to pay employees well.
Yep.
That's it. And I want to go home and play with my kid.
And we're going to so we just have to keep advocating, keep moving on to the next place, whether we got to, and we got to keep, it's just like we never know who is the right person to talk to, and then when we do find someone that has a fire that is lit as big as ours, then maybe we need to, get in the arena with them and see where that can go.
Yeah. Because if this is the community I'm going to be in for 20 years as I raise my son, like something's going to need to change or I'll pick another community to live in. This isn't the best place in the world. I don't know any place is the best. Well, there is one place that's the best place in the world. I mean, that's obviously why you call it the best place in the world. I want to find that place. Maybe I'll move there. But, and I'm not saying every place has to be like perfect because nobody's perfect and everything's a little jumbled here or there. But for the people in the community, the elderly, the people that have mental health issues, behavioral health, whatever you want to call it, SUD goes right in there, gambling. I mean, there's so many people out there that need help. And there's a lot of people in this area that could make that happen with nothing. Mm-hmm. It would take nothing for them to be like, oh, here you go. I would like to see my community better.
So I think
But I don't know how to talk to those people. And maybe it's the middle class. Maybe we're the ones that have to do it. I don't care who has to do it, but somebody does have to do it. And just because there's, this organization's doing that, it doesn't mean they're doing it right.
No.
It doesn't. Because I've seen way too many times where it's not, and it's just money just keeps funneling through, and you're like, wait a minute, hold on. And I do have friends that are representatives here in the state and that can affect changes in the laws. So if that's what I need to do, that's what I need to do. And then it was even suggesting to me that I run for office. And I'm like, dude, and people thought it was a good idea. A couple of people from this area thought it was a good idea. And
for you to run?
Yes. And I said, no. Do you know what would happen? It would be on the news. I would probably punch somebody in the face the first day. It would be bad. And
you would have a stroke.
My friend Ron, he was just excited. He was like, I can't, dude, it would be the best day ever. The popcorn, he would have it all ready. Feet kicked up. Here comes Corey. Watch this shit. Because he knows, I would lose my shit.
Yeah.
He's just telling me, he's scratching the surface of the stuff that's going on behind the scenes.
I say I'm going to advocate
Embarrassing.
for your best interest, and I say that
I would have a heart attack.
I would rather
it
you
would be
not
bad.
run.
It would be horrible.
Mm-hmm.
It would be the worst. I mean, the people in Michigan would love it, probably, especially Trump supporters would love it. But like, I think everybody would love it.
Well, yeah,
Except
and I
for the
think
people in the whole state of Michigan, Senate, all the houses, all of them, they would hate me.
And I think that there would be people that would stand behind you and support
Pretty
your...
far back, they would.
Yes, but I just, for Cori Winfield himself, I don't think that arena is your arena.
No, I
mean, I guess you could always try.
I'm like, let's go. Let me tell you about the Buck Cherry concert.
I think we should just...
Okay, yes.
President Parker.
Yeah. Oh, that was a funny one. I love parenting with Marnie because it's so fun. Because I was talking about drone. Because I'm very fearful. Well, that's a whole nother podcast. But I'm afraid that he's not going to like cameras and doing film and radio. And so I'm like, man, what if he doesn't like it? And Marnie's like, he's going to like what he likes no matter what. What? It's like, you're not going to tell him what to do, not how to be. I said, okay. So you want to ride your bike in traffic, son, with no helmet? Go on. Go be your man. Go be the Parker you want to be. And I was like, we can take him down to wherever I go to get his name changed and get his name changed to president like it should have been. If you listened to the podcast before, I said to Marnie that I wanted to name him president. So that way his name would be President Winfield, and that would just be awesome. And I always think about like first, second grade teachers and then the substitute doing roll call. President Winfield. Will Parker raises his hand. Here.
It's all cute.
Yes, give me 2 coffees, please. I don't know. I thought it'd be funny, but yeah, so it was funny.
I like that sweet cream in my coffee.
Yeah, I started going down the rabbit hole of all these horrible situations where I'm like, no, Parker, go ahead. Yeah, you want to jump out of the plane with no parachute? Just go. You be your own man, Parker. You do what you want. Your mom said. She just stopped talking to me, she started watching the Hunters Club
because
or some show, and I'm like, honey, I'm way funnier than the show is right now. And
that's just Cori being funny because he's so scared.
Oh,
So he's just doing the opposite.
Yeah, I was like, all right, well, because my mind goes really far places. It's like when the sober living, the guy was like, we got to be willing to do anything, and I'm like, well, there's a lot of things I'm not going to do. Like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, I'm not going to push my mom off a bridge. I'm not going to have sex with, like I started naming like all kinds of crazy stuff. He's like, yeah, I spent like, if you needed a job, I'm like, oh yeah, I'll get a job. What, McDonald's? I'm like, well, I don't think McDonald's. Whoa, you're too good for McDonald's? No, I've never worked at McDonald's, and that doesn't make any sense. I would probably go to the radio station or maybe a tool and die place. Then maybe McDonald's. But I mean, if you're talking about if I'd rather work at McDonald's or live under a bridge, well, I definitely would rather work at McDonald's if that's what you're asking. And he's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, well, I could tell at that point it wasn't going to work out. I was like, yeah, I don't think that's the one. And I did not want to go to the other one because there was 18 people there, and there was one dude that I hated was going to that house too. And I was like, I don't want to go to that one. But I ended up going there. And then, of course, that dude had the bed right next to mine. Mm-hmm. He's dead now, though, but them
are just them life lessons, right?
oh.
Yeah. I don't know. It was crazy, but
you did it.
Yeah, I did.
Like you saying, like, okay, I had to be humble enough. I had to clean the toilets.
Yeah. And that was the one job. I'm like, everything I was like praying for, like, please don't let him be next to me. Boom, right next to me. Mm-hmm. Please don't give me bathrooms. Boom, bathrooms. There was 18 dudes, 3 bathrooms. Yep, that's what I was doing Wednesdays. So I threw on the gloves and I got really good at it. And then I changed my mind. And that's when I realized, I think, too, how you go into something with your, like, if you go into something thinking this is going to suck, guess what? Going to suck. If you can go into it like, you know what? I'm going to put these gloves on. I'm not going to get any pubes on my hands, nothing like that. I'm spraying the shit out of everything. And when I sat down, I was the first one to use the toilet afterward. And I passed that along the story, and it really does work. I knew it was clean, man. I took my time just enjoying the clean bathroom upstairs at Nathan's house too. 631 Boyne Avenue.
But I mean, there's even Michigan. That feeling of knowing, like, when you get in the shower, like, that it's clean every Wednesday.
Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm. And then I got to throw people's shit away because the rule that Jason and Beck had at Nathan's house, he gave you a shower caddy. He's like, here you go, put all your stuff in here, take this in the bathroom with you. When you leave, take it out. Well, people would be like, at my house, I just leave my shampoo right here in the shower. Much easier. At your house it is, but with 18 people, can you imagine 18 different bottles or even 6 or 7? That's too many. And so Jason would be like, you don't leave your stuff in there. So I throw it all away. And then like one dude was like, man, somebody keeps throwing away my shampoo. Jason's like, wait, someone's throwing away your shampoo? And he's like, yeah. Jason, well, let's get to the bottom of this. So what room are you in? He's like, okay. He's like, so someone's going in your, where do you keep it in your, well, no, I had it in the bathroom. Well, you had it in the bathroom, like in the cupboard? No, in the shower. Oh, no. You're not supposed to do that. So that whoever cleaned the bathroom threw it away. So that's what they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Well, that's messed up.
That's the rule.
That's how it goes. And then he did it again. And then he had the balls to bring it up again. Guys, need to stop throwing away my shampoo. Oh, no, leave it in there again. I want to go clean the bathroom right now to see if it's in there so I can throw it away. But it became something that I didn't mind because I just changed it as, okay, I'm having fun throwing people's stuff away. I know it's clean because one guy for sure half-assed it and he never even cleaned it. And it's like, are you here to half-ass things or are you here to learn how to live sober? It's doing those things that, well, I don't want to. Okay, that means you need to do it. Is it going to hurt you physically, mentally? No? Okay. Well, you're going to mess around and catch some sobriety? Like, What is the worst that's going to happen? You just cleaned the bathroom. You did something for it. When you get done, guess what? Dopamine spike. Go mow your yard. Look at it when you're done. You feel good. It looks good. You have that same reward. It's finishing something that you start, and that's part of the stuff that it's teaching you. And then I would carry that over. And Marty and I got to the apartment, and I know she worked hard, and I'd clean her bathroom. And I remember the first time I did it, took me 2 minutes. Like, it was nothing. She's not a nasty, hairy guy, like it was easy. And she really appreciated it. And I texted to Beck, and I was like, dude, cleaning the bathroom for your beautiful, sexy wife, girlfriend, fiance, whatever she was at that time, is so much better, dude, than 20 dudes, and it took 2 minutes, nothing, and she really appreciated it, and I need to do it more, but I carried it over, and it feels good to do things for people, and it's something as like cleaning a bathroom.
And it's just teaching you them things of them simple life skills of us, right? So then when we leave the sober living and say we even have our own spot, it's probably a good idea that you clean your bathroom, right?
Yeah. And I mean, I cleaned my bathroom before, but it's doing it for other people. And when, I'm cleaning the bathroom for the sober living house, I'm cleaning it for me and being selfish and greedy, but I'm also doing it for everybody else. Like, I don't want someone to come home later that night and be like, who's supposed to clean the bathroom today? It looks like shit, because I heard that a lot. Not on my days.
Yep. And
that's what I wanted to do. I didn't want to half-ass clean something. Then Jason DeBeck come, and then he yells at me because I couldn't even clean a bathroom. Come on, but it's in me. It was in me. I could have definitely tapped into the just get the pube off the corner. No one will know.
But there's also too sometimes where I've had to remember, because even just in past like jobs and coworkers of that, maybe not everybody was taught the same way of cleaning.
And that's a thing too.
That is a thing. And of course, and it's remembering that when we get sober, we're adults. And so then we look at this age and this number that we're this old and that we're supposed to know these things. And sometimes we don't get humble enough to ask and just say that, hey, I might need help because this is a skill I lack in, or, I lived in a house where cleaning was not a thing, and that's okay. And so it's like, it's just one of them areas again of like, right, asking for help.
Yeah.
And especially us people in recovery, most of us understand, like, when we're asking for help, it really, there's nothing that's dumb, because maybe it's just something we missed along the way in our life.
Yeah. Nobody ever taught me how to change oil.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I could probably take it to a place to have it done. I mean, if I wanted to learn, I could learn how to change the oil, but I'm not going to be like, oh my God, I'm so stupid because I don't know how to change my oil. No, if I wanted to learn how to change my oil, I could.
Yeah. But I just think it's them. That's just them skills of we have to be. It's the willingness, right? Too of are we gonna just sit there and be like, well, I don't know, I can't, or like you were saying, can you go in it with that open mind? And what's the motivation of why we're doing this? Because I want to learn it because I just want to learn it, or whatever the case may be.
Mm-hmm. And the other podcast that we did that nobody's going to hear, we kind of talked about goals and having purpose and stuff like that. And then people like their dreams, because if you came to me 7 years ago and be like, hey, so your dream is to make a movie. And I'd be like, what? What are you talking about? That's not my dream is to make a movie. What? But my dream is to make a movie now. And if I say that to somebody, they probably roll their eyes and be like, oh, okay. And that's fine. That's cool. They don't understand my dream, but I'm going to do that. And it's the fear of what other people think sometimes that will keep people stuck. And I do fear. We have a project coming up that we're going to start here in a couple of weeks, and I am freaking scared, man. I think I can do it. And I was talking to my friend Bob this morning. We had coffee, and we kind of he's a painter, but he also kind of started doing side jobs too, because he'd be painting a house, and somebody'd be like, hey, can you fix this trim, or can you fix that? And he had worked on enough job sites with other people and seeing people do stuff and this and that, where he's like, yeah, I can do that. And he's never done it before, but yet now he is in a position where someone asks him, he's like, sure. And I was like, it's kind of the same situation that I'm in, where it's like, I've never done this before. I've never made a movie before, but like leading up to making that movie, I've learned a lot along the way. And I think that's going to push me through this fear, I hope. But I'm going to do it. We have a date set, and that's the most important thing. So back to me telling someone who's starting a podcast some advice: don't give up. Don't do it to be rich or famous. Do it because it's something that you love, whether it's about recovery, about your recovery. If you can do that about your recovery and keep yourself sober, then you win. Like, I don't care if you have one listener, you win every single episode. You're winning. And 10 years from now, someone might catch that episode. And that's another thing. You never know who's going to catch that and hear it and go, oh, wow, that's the same thing I'm going through at this very moment. Because God does work in mysterious ways. So don't give up on it. But I wouldn't do it to be rich and famous. I would do it to just get some stuff off your chest. Maybe you want to have some fun with your buddies. Maybe you want to do a fantasy football podcast. Whatever, man. Whatever it is, do it. But don't give up, and do it for the right reasons is what I would say. Because when you start doing things for money, it just doesn't work out, at least in my experience.
Well, and it's kind of like that for anything. We're more apt to study a course because it's something we want to learn or we want to do than when we're forced or just doing it because, well, I get paid to do this. Well, that's no fun. Right. And it's the recovery piece about it is it's putting our passion into it. Showing up, we'll put 110% into it because this is what we like to do. It's what we want to do. And it's, and then, oh, cool. Like, I'm getting paid to do this too, and it's not always we're getting paid to do something, but it's just about like finding that spot where you can just show up to be 100% who you are, and what you're doing, that purpose is, what you want to be doing.
Yeah. And it changed everything in my life, and not wanting to go back in radio. And then the things that God just kind of puts in the way, and I say in the way, they are. And he'll pull the rug and you'll be like, what? And you just have to just ride the course, man. Like it's a test. And there's a reason why things change and things shift. And it's kind of like the podcast open, it's like, I'm so glad that things didn't work out. And there was times where I was beating my head against the wall going, man, we got to do this. We need this. And then it didn't work out. And I'm like, no. And then months or weeks later, I look back and go, wow, I'm so glad that didn't work out. Because that's not what we needed to do. That would have been a total waste of time, waste of money, waste of energy, everything. So.
But sometimes when we're in it, we can't see that.
No. And we're just like, no, but I got to do this. I got to do this. They said I have to do this. And a lot of misinformation. But then it doesn't. And then you look back and you're like, wow, I'm so glad that didn't work out that way, or that I didn't waste any more time. And as mad as I was, and I looked up, I remember going, God, what am I supposed to do? Well, he's telling you. You just got to listen. You got to pay attention.
But sometimes that's right. But I wanted to do this over here.
Yeah.
And we just can't let it go for a minute. Right.
Yeah.
And then when we can, and when we get to the other side, then we're like, okay. Well, all right.
And
that didn't work out.
Maybe we brought enough attention to the transportation issue, because it seems like everybody and their brother wants to do it now or says they're doing it. So maybe, we didn't get any funding from the state of Michigan, so maybe they have it all figured out. Maybe every single person who wants to go to treatment's getting there.
Or maybe it's just like, okay, well, then these other people are going to try it, but we don't know. We don't know what the bigger picture of this is going to be. At least we know that, for in your heart, I want you to know that, a lot of people know that Cori Winfield, 217, he was the one that started this. 217. And now there is a lot of people that are bummed that we're not doing it. And so, these other places are going to try to start doing it. And, my biggest thing is I can just hope that, they're going to get the people to treatment as well, safe and reliable. And if that means for us, now we got to shift in a different gear right now. Okay. Yeah. So you know what I mean? You started that. You showed how to be done. Now other people it's kind of like, you know what? Now they're following that. Okay. Mm-hmm. Something that you did. So now we're going to go in a different direction, and we're going to help. Where's the other gaps of where we can help?
Because there's plenty of them.
Yep.
So that's what you have to do. And you can have an attitude of, we're going to pout and cry. We're going to do this. Or we're going to do that. Or you can just figure it out, and listen to God, because God's been saying a lot of stuff to me for a while. And it's just a natural, like, oh, okay, cool. Transportation's covered. I'm glad we took care of that, because I kind of think like we did. And I remember when they first released their transportation grants, Brandon from DHHS came and was like, yeah, we thought of you. And we got this transportation grant. We didn't give it to you, but that's all right. We got to hook up our friends or whatever they do. Huh? But that's cool. As long as they're getting people to treatment. I wanted to see their numbers. I asked them for them because I was like, hey, because they gave them to 20 people, 20 organizations. And if one who didn't get the funding from them could do 1,200 rides in 3 years, holy cow, they've probably got 40,000 people that they've taken to treatment. And I can't wait to see those numbers.
Maybe one day they'll be released to us.
I don't think they ever will. I think we'll have to do a Freedom of Information Act. But the numbers aren't going to be close to ours, unfortunately. The 40,000, that's nah. Because if they were doing something that was that good, they would be telling people about it. And people wouldn't be calling us asking for rides to treatment, even though they've called their insurance or whatever they're supposed to do. Like, that didn't show up.
I know. But we just...
But we could, and hopefully at least we put enough... I know I did. I've talked to enough people at the state of Michigan that they know.
But, so, there's still people here that are, they're still advocating. We got Grand Traverse County Jail yesterday, and to put the piece together with the Manistee County and Benzie County Jail, I called her up and I'm like, I don't know if you work with this client. He's in Benzie County. And she's like, yep, we'll pay for it. Good to go. Just like that. And so, and then now reaching out and we're getting a little bit more connected down in Benzie County as well. And so we got to keep on advocating. Mm-hmm. They know we're here. There are certain courts and judges that they rely on 217 to get their people there because they know what we do, what we're about, and that we get them there every time. There's no fault. There's no guy didn't make it. So we just, we just got to keep advocating sometimes it's little baby steps. Yeah. And I think we want bigger strides because that's just, we feel, we're strong in knowing what we are doing and what the impact does make. We hear it all the time. We have clients now that are in sober living or they're living on their own now that we have helped, and we see the progress in it. And So it just takes a little time.
And speaking of time, I have very little left on this podcast today.
Obviously.
Because my wife wants me home. So
She does. And that little Parker Winfield at home is going to be so excited when his daddy comes through the door.
I will. Big smiles on his face. But I do want to mention to check out restoredvoices.com. Check that out. And
exciting new project.
Yeah. Check that out. Tell me what you think. Got some ideas. Send them to Cori, C-O-R-I, at 217recovery.com. Yeah, that's where I'll send all my junk mail now is to your email.
Thanks, Cori Winfield.
Yeah. Check out the app. If you don't have it yet, get it. It's free. Just go to your app store, 217 Recovery. You can listen to the very first episode ever. And I had 3 months sober.
All right.
Listen to Cori, what he was saying then. Oh, geez.
Pretty soon we're going to be starting a new show called, I don't know what day yet, but we're going to do the Cori and Cori show.
Oh, I thought that was the name of the show. I was like, we don't know what day yet. It's the name of the show?
Yeah.
Okay, we don't know what day yet. Coming soon. But first, we're going to do that Restorative Voices project. But check it out. Also, resources online too, 217recovery.com. Talk to you later.
Later.
Thanks for listening to the 217 Recovery Podcast. Listen to over 900 episodes on the 217 Recovery app. That's free in your app store or online at 217recovery.com.